But I don't know who's behind the whole thing. But all of it suggests something not right.
The Department of Justice has refused to give the visas needed for children from Palestine to come here and play hurling. That can now still be changed. It requires a government decision to say we're going to grant the visas. It's the very, very least that we can do. I really urge the government to act at this late stage. We know that as well as the GAA players being denied entry, we know that there's been real issues in terms of medical evacuation of children, Palestinian children. And over the weekend, I learned that around 20 Palestinian students have applied for visas looking to attend college from September in Ireland, and only 2 of them have now been approved. There really looks to be a pattern here, because you contrast it with any Israeli citizen can travel visa-free to Ireland for up to 90 days. An Israeli child could have travelled to Ireland, could play GAA with no trouble. Why are we not doing everything we can to allow these people? Let them play, let them study, let them access medical treatment in Ireland.
And let them play. I mean, Deputy, I'm perplexed about this, and Deputy Paul Murphy raised this as well, and I'm slightly worried that there's a campaign underway as well to try and blame the government or create this narrative, as Deputy Murphy did, that the government is sort of anti-Palestinian or not facilitating Palestinians coming to Ireland. I mean, the bottom line is 700 visas have been granted to Palestinian nationals since the outbreak of the war. 700. There's no delay in terms of medical evacuations whatsoever. And a false narrative has developed in terms of the medical evacuation of children from Palestine. Don't know where that's coming from. Why people would even want to create that false narrative. No, it's not. To undermine government. Sorry? Yeah, but the doctor maybe should contact the minister. We work with the WHO. Some doctors wanted to do another route through Jordan. We can look at that. But let's do it properly, through the proper channels, because these are serious matters with children with serious injuries. We've got to make sure their parents are on board, that the family unification is there. And we've done that already with 12 and I think about 45 adults with those 12 children already. And we're very clear that there will be family unification. So let's not just go in saying, oh, government is anti-this, government is anti-that. It's not. And in terms of the GAA Palestine, again, this has come out of left field, to be frank. Why wasn't there proper negotiations well in advance, or engagement with government parties before any visas were applied for?
Deputy.
No, I'm saying I'm dealing with it now, but it's an important point. This is a serious matter. You can't have a group forming in any locality and simply saying, ignore all your normal regulatory procedures for visa applications. That's not possible. You have to get the documentation right. We have to know who's coming in with the children. We have to know the passports are proper. None of that, a lot of that was open to question, apparently, according to the documentation that was submitted. I mean, birth certificates, just hear me out, please. For the children, additional documents must be verified, including birth certs, letters of consent to establish the relationship between the child and the adult they are travelling with. Most of the children would not have been travelling with a parent. And then there's all sorts of issues about employment or the ties indicate a person returned to home. Those are all there as regulatory. Now I think, and then for some reason over the last 4 or 5 days, no appeal was entered at all.
They were allowed for discretion of the minister.
No, I'm going to move on to the next block of questions.
The basic thing that, I'll come to that, the basic thing that should have happened, an appeal should have been entered. Right? And second, today at 1 o'clock, but it doesn't sound right to me that an appeal would come in that manner, given that a week has passed since the original decision on war. I just find the whole thing somewhat perplexing, is all I am simply saying. I don't know whether GAA Palestine is affiliated to the GAA or not. Normally what would happen is a sporting organisation would come to the government today and say, we want to organise X and Y, well in advance.
He is here now.
You know, but I don't know who's behind the whole thing. I don't just
Deputy Morocco, we're not having it.
But sorry, look, that's like.
I'd ask you, Taoiseach, if you wouldn't mind concluding on this question.
But what is going on?
I would just like this issue dealt with. Hey,
so would I. But the way it's being dealt with. But sorry, look, sorry, no, yeah, but why? I don't understand the way you're dealing with it. It seems to be more about the campaign than the children. I hate saying that. That's what
All right, we're going to conclude,
I think it's wrong,
these
Deputy.
questions. We're now moving
they're
to
very legitimate questions.
12 to 17 inclusive.
But should there was
And
no
I'll ask the
notification
Taoiseach
that
to
anyone's
please
achieving
respond to
the right
those.
thing. You just don't rock up to the Department of Justice on ad hoc and say, Minister, come down here. He mightn't have even been in the building. Like all of this, but all of it suggests something not right. I'm not saying anything wrong by the organisers, but the whole thing seems haphazardly organised, is all I can say. It's strange how the whole thing is developed in this manner. I think
can we
there's
have
something
some
wrong
order,
here.
please?
And we're talking about children here, and I think there should be a greater sense of organisational behind this and around. I don't